So we're deliberately moving the ankle toward the other leg and away from, keeping the ball of the foot as a kind of pivot point planted. And then let your body weight sink into it. If you had to, you can pick up the right foot, the other foot. You don't have to. In fact, I don't want you to, because I want you to focus more on a micro movement of the calcaneus, the bone in your heel with more weight on it. If you're light in the foot, you can also feel maybe inner thigh, lower belly, back of the legs and butt supporting you in balance. From the side, this just looks like you're on the heel, bone right under the ankle, little micro movement. And then move the ball so it goes forward under the arch, the sole of the foot. From the side, you can see that it's ahead of your ankle, ahead of your shin bone. And just start without touching the floor with the heel or the ball of the foot. This, what I think of as a piston, pressing straight down, not touching the floor with any part of the left foot. Something of wrapping your foot around the ball. And now you've moved the ball to the middle of the foot from what we think of as the back of it, right? So we're moving to the middle of the leg. Can you feel your hamstring working to press down, press down, press down? Removing the plantar fascia. And then roll the ball from heel to second, third toe, back to the heel. It's on the long arch of the middle of the three longitudinal arches in the feet. I was watching Dissection Anatomy with Todd Garcia, associated with Tom Myers of Anatomy Trains. You're going to move from your heel to your big toe, back to your heel. Particularly appreciate the understanding he has in dissecting the human body to the most minute layers, and yet understanding entirely the whole of the body and the language of the body. Move from your heel to your baby toe, the outer longitudinal line. And that feels wiggly on me. The wholeness, this is not just the foot moving. There's nerve endings, free nerve endings that have a relationship to your organs, that connect back to your spinal cord, that talk to your grand central brain. And then come back to the ball under the arch of the foot and feel like you're trying to suck the ball up into the arch and relax that and feel like you're drawing the ball up in. Around all those free nerve endings, you have bones moving, muscles move bones, therefore muscles are doing something with each other. And then move the ball forward so the ball is under the what we call the ball of your foot. And since one foot's usually longer or bigger than the other, I want you to measure by looking behind you, and your heels are in a line where the second toes are exactly aiming away from, and then grab the ball. In other words, don't measure on a line from your toes. You're measuring from your heels so your legs and pelvis are lined up. Grab the ball like an octopus and lift your toes. Grab and lift. So you're wrapping the toes around. And then somehow I think of like fringing up. Wrap. And then before we go to the rolling in and out, push down on the ball of the foot, keeping the heel on the floor. It's like you're pressing on the accelerator. Can you feel your foot working, your calf working? I'm trying to feel hamstring and butt anyway, because mine tend to be off on some stretchy vacation a lot of the time, even as age is making me less flexible. And then roll the big toe knuckle toward the other foot, roll the little toe knuckle away from the other foot, And try to not do that with your knees and your body. You're really doing that at the ball of the feet, the toe bones, doing this motion. Come back to center and lift your toes and grab the ball as hard as you ever have. You're looking for some visible impression of that first set of joints showing up. And lift your toes, spread them, wrap around the ball. This is my dominant foot leg. Might be, might not be for you. It's a very different, probably, coordination from the other side. Come on off the ball and stand and feel. Close your eyes for a moment and feel first comparison, relative. What feels different from the foot that just had the ball technique from the other? Some people will say flat, some will feel closer to the ground, more grounded, some will say it feels lighter. Just notice it feels different and let your weight shift to one side without picking up the other foot. Come to center and let your weight shift to the other. So that's connected. And center, do that one more time. Inhale to side. If I close my eyes, I feel a lot more belly turn on. Go to the other side, not only because I'm aware of it, but because if I'm not getting visual for balance, I can feel the core engage more efficiently for balance here. Powerhouse. Put your heel, other heel on the ball. Heels are lined up in the back, second toes aiming forward, center of the heels aiming back, and push the ball down with your heel, which is your butt muscle working. Try to not tuck under or sort of slop down in your lower back and do it, even if you get more work. We're really practicing being able to have upright and functional, moving body language, posture, and the ability to, on demand, right, on call, engage your butt muscle to move your heel. And then a little ankle in toward the other leg, ankle away from the leg. Technically, this is inversion when you rock away from the other leg, and the eversion when the foot rocks toward. If you're thinking about lifting the big toe edge of the foot and then the little toe edge of the foot, hold still, and then do put as much weight on there as you can tolerate. You don't have to, but if you could, like lift the other foot, that much intention on the ball. And then still a little micro movement. We are releasing tension patterns, fascia in the heel, but I'm thinking about moving where the leg bone comes all the way up into the socket. Get a little more refined balance. And then move the ball forward so it is under the arches of the feet, between the heel and ball of the foot, neither the front nor the back of the foot touching the floor. When you press straight down, kind of a piston idea, don't let the knee roll in, don't let the knee fall out. Knee over second, third toe. And I'm feeling more hamstring, maybe inner thigh, on this placement of the ball halfway through the length of the foot. It's like halfway through the length of the back of the leg, a little less. And then roll from heel to second and third toe, to center of three longitudinal arches. Longitudinal meaning from the long line, the longest line from heel to the ends of your toes through the middle. As much pressure as you can tolerate without making it hold your breath. And then heel to big toe, back to heel. to big toe, back to heel. That's that inside, what we tend to think of as the arch of the foot. And then heel to baby toe. Very much less aware in general population that there's an arch on the outside of the foot. Also creates a problem for me to solve in balance, keeping control of the ball. It doesn't fling away. Notice your powerhouse, your butt, belly, maybe lower back involved to help keep you balanced while the leg is moving. Move the ball forward so it's under the ball of, I'm sorry, come back. Do that thing of like just trying to suck the ball up into your foot. It's like you're wrapping your whole foot around the ball and quit. You realize these are muscles working. Draw the ball up in your plantar flexing the muscles and quit. That is the bottom of the foot trying to get closer to itself and quit, and then move the ball forward so it is under the ball of the foot. Maybe already see the whites of your knuckles coming up through the skin, the paler skin, because you've got bones peeking up. Grab the ball like an octopus and lift your toes, spread them fringy, and wrap and lift and wrap and lift. And then accelerate. Push the ball of the foot down, keeping the heel down. You might feel calf. You will feel calf. Maybe feel something else going on higher up, inner thigh to help stabilize the leg. And then roll the big toe, edge of the foot toward the other foot, little toe, edge of the foot away. Big toe toward is eversion. Little toe down away is inversion. Not letting the knee move much. Find center, grab the ball, and lift your toes, and grab the ball, and lift, and hold, hug the ball, octopus, suck it up into your foot. 5, 3, and stand off the ball. Feel your feet, close your eyes, let your weight shift to one side, and center, and the other, and center. And the feet are not touching, they're parallel. Draw a circle on the ceiling with the top of your skull. Side, forward, side, woo, back. Play with keeping your eyes closed to feel where you engage, maybe inner thigh, maybe lower belly, back of the upper inner thigh, certainly butt and belly, and reverse direction. Get taller, crown up, head back, shoulders down, ribs wide, knees unlocking. Find center, heels together, ball of the feet are turned out. Pull the floor together with your heels, pull the floor apart with the ball of the feet. Exhale, head over, spine over, ribs wide. Hang here a moment, stretching that highway of information up the back of the leg that got quite involved in the footwork on the ball. Pull the back of the legs together and the inhale, roll up. And exhale over. Inhale, come up. Bend at the elbows go forward and up, and exhale over with that added length and weight of your arms. Lift the arms toward your screen and inhale, roll up. Drop your shoulders and exhale over. Pull your legs together. The inhale, roll up. Arms come along. Palms toward each other, straight arms. Inhale, side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, side. Exhale, lift. Zip the legs. Expand your ribs. Flatten belly. Inhale, side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, side. And lift. And go side. And lift. Squeeze your legs together, lift your chest. And center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center. Inhaling, lift. And center. Release your arms all the way down. Come to parallel. Want to do this figure 8 thing interior in your body before we go to the mat and do more of the classical Pilates. If you put your finger points of your fingers on the front of the hip bones, right at your beltway, maybe a little lower. Bend your left knee and you'll feel how the left hip goes closer to the floor, and center, and bend your right knee and center. Bend the left, feel the right thigh and hip stretch and center. Bend the right, feel the left thigh and hip stretch and center. One more each side, and feel how what you're doing is moving your spine side to side. Now hold center. Come back to fingers on the front of the hips. Let one hip go forward and come back. Do that one again. You're not bending the knees or straightening the knees. Let them both be evenly dropped, soft, bent, and hip forward and center. Same hip forward and center. Lift your ribs off of your pelvis, center. Expand, lift your ribs, center. Other hip forward and center. First of all, notice how much more challenging it is to one side than the other. At least it is for me. Hip forward, the other one back, and center. Not only are you feeling the facility or the challenge, do you notice leg and butt muscles working differently to help one hip go forward and the other back? And then alternate. Left hip forward, center. Right forward, center. Left forward, get taller. Right, taller. Head up, shoulders down. Ribs up, pivot bone down. Hip forward, and then take this a little bit faster where you're not stopping in the middle. No arms. Soften the knees a little bit. And you're doing the twist, alternating, feel your obliques work. 3, 2, 1, rest. Do a figure eight, hip forward, back, hip forward and back, hip forward and back. And the hip bone right now is really the ASIS, this top pointy little bone, not the whole joint where your thigh comes in. Think about which direction you're moving and then reverse. It's the same figure eight pattern. It's the same muscles. You didn't get a different bunch brought in off the shelf, but I think it will feel very different when they're organizing in a different sequence. Part of the value of this, besides reminding the fascia how to stay loose, is to feel this really internal musculature that you can just turn on other times during the day, not only when you're doing the 100 or sit-ups or crunches or whatever. Now, do that move again, but internally. Little tiny, between your hip bones, between your pubic bone and your navel, and between the front of your belly and your sacrum, like really center. You're moving that point, that dot, in a kind of figure eight shadow on the floor. And then reverse. See if you can make that figure eight that we're doing on the floor become forward on the floor and back. It was side to side. So now take the figure eight forward and back. Make it big to start. Reverse. So it's forward through the back, to the center, forward through the back center. And then make that as small as possible. No one can see you do that move. And get taller. Reverse. And then I want you to connect those two eights at the middle. So you get kind of a slow relief, yeah? Around one side, up to the front, around to the other side, and to the back. Or whatever pattern makes sense to you. You might think of like if you are a super highway that had 4 on-ramp, off-ramp loops, reverse, where you can just keep getting on and getting off and going nowhere except inside. All right, give that a rest. Make your way to your conscious body mat or your personal mat. I've done a lot of work with feet and core. I'm going to take you to the other end of your spine and do a head, neck, throat work. But first, constructive rest position. And constructive rest just means your spine is neutral. You're not trying to flatten or exaggerate the curves that you would see from the side. Knees are bent, feet and knees are not touching. And I want you to bring your nose toward your chest. Don't lift your chest to your nose. That lifts your spine off the floor. Your nose toward your chest, reaching the back of the head away from your pelvis. And then keep your head and neck free for a moment. And before even we get to head and neck, come back to the feeling you just had standing. I want you to make a figure eight or infinity sign, internal. Doesn't matter which pattern you pick for a moment. Really, the idea of being able to translate that internal motion to an entirely different plane, reverse. And then pick a different plane. It doesn't matter which, doesn't matter if it's even on a plane right now. Just do a different double loop pattern. Feel grounded in how much work, muscle engagement happening between two hip bones, pubic bone and navel in front of the sacrum that you're lying on your mat. And then feel anchored. Reach your head farther away from your pelvis and breathe in. And breathe out 6, 5. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out 8. Release your shoulders. Breathe in. Reach your head away from your tail. And breathe out for 10. Release your shoulders. Get heavier at the other end of the pelvis. I'm sorry, the other end of your spine, the pelvis end of your spine. Stay heavy, almost as if you had a stone, a bowling ball, a weighted bag of sand at the pelvis. And then breathe in, bring your nose to your chest. Breathe out, barely lift your head. Breathe in, reach your head away from your pelvis. And breathe out, head down. Release your shoulders. Breathe in, nod. Breathe out, barely lift. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, lower. Inhale, nod. Exhale, barely lift. Inhale, reach. And lower. Turn your nose to the right 1 inch. Now your nose will aim toward your hip bone. Release your shoulders. Breathe in and engage the pelvic floor, centric 6, pubic bone, sit bones, tailbone together, sacrum to the ceiling, 2 hip bones toward each other, pubic bone to navel, hips to ribs, ribs to sit bones. Inhale, nod your nose, and exhale, barely lift your head. Inhale, reach, and lower. Keep that centric 6 core engagement. Inhale, nod. Exhale, barely lift. Inhale, reach. And down. Bring your nose center. Bring your nose 1 inch the other way. Inhale, nod toward your hip. Exhale, barely lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower, relax your shoulders. Engage the core, your centric 6, the pelvic floor. Inhale, nod. Exhale, barely lift. Inhale, reach your head. Let it down. Bring your head center. And either rest here a minute or repeat what you just did, or more advanced, to turn the head sideways when your head is off the mat. You must get grounded in your wide open, beautifully grounded feet. Collect the pelvis. Expand your ribs. Inhale, nod your nose. Exhale, barely lift, and turn your head side to side. And lower. Breathe in. And breathe out, hiss. We're back to the other end of your spine. And at the end of the hiss, float one leg. Inhale, lower. Breathe out to float. Inhale, lower. Drop your shoulders. Hiss to float. Think about lifting the other leg. Check out whether your pelvic floor is engaged and lower the leg. Engage pelvic floor and deep low belly hiss. Float the other knee. Inhale down. Keep your ribs expanded to the back and the sides and hiss to float. Pelvic floor on. Inhale, lower. And deep hiss, deep low belly work. Float. Think about lifting the other leg. Widen, broaden the base of your ribs and do lift the other leg. Lower one leg a little bit and bring it back, and the other one a little and bring it back. Don't hold the breath. And both legs. Hug your legs with your arms. Stretch your back. Let go of the legs, but keep them over your body. Bring your arms down by your sides and exhale, hush. And your belly pushes your back to lift the pelvis toward the ceiling. You're not trying to bring it over your head. Exhale, hush, lift a little. Inhale, lower. 5 more on your breath. Add a little twist when you lift. Alternating sides. Don't hold the breath. Heels together. Knees are shoulder width apart. And stretch your legs out and up. And pull your belly in to bring the legs back. Keep your back back. Keep your belly back. Second set, legs are together. Inner thigh, calves, pass through your heels. Pull your ears away from your sit bones. Pull your sit bones away from your heels. Pull your back back. Pull your belly back. Lower one foot, lower the other. And do a bridge where your shins move first. Toward your toes, shoulders released. Think of your butt getting higher, but your back lower. And roll down. Spread the ball of the feet. Spread the toes, ankles toward each other, all of that sensation from the ball work at the beginning and bridge. Get light in one foot. Even out your feet. Get light in the other foot. Even out your feet. Get your butt even higher. And roll down. Breathe. Breathe out, pelvic floor, coiling deep inside your body in the pelvis to bridge, wrapping your thigh bones around the back without the knees falling away. Get a bit higher butt, lower back, and roll down. Place your hands behind your skull and breathe in. Keep your left arm where it is, meaning you're not curling straight up, you're keeping the left elbow toward the floor. Breathe in again. On the breath out, curl forward, but keeping the arm there rotates you toward the left knee. And inhale, come back. Same side. Squeeze your butt, your inner thigh, your lower belly, and breathe out, twist up. Inhale, come back. Close your eyes and twist your chest up. Your head hangs back in your hands and down. Exhale, twist up over. Stay here. Bring your right rib to your left hip. Breathe in, breathe out, bring your left ribs back into the floor. And breathe out, float the left knee. Everything down. And breathe in. Other side. Exhale, right arm stays where it is. Twist up toward the right knee. And down. Close your eyes, let your head be heavy in your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out from the bottom up and twist. Let your head hang. And down. Heavy feet, heavy pelvis. Breathe in. And breathe out, twist. Head heavy. And down. And exhale, twist up. Take your left rib to your right hip. Right ribs back into the mat. Float the right knee. Heavy head. And everything down. And breathe in. And breathe out 10, 9, 8. Coming back to your feet. Hold your left leg in the air. And you move the ankle into a high heel shoe, ball of the foot. Move the toes into point ballet. Move the ankle in the dome shape. Move the toes into a little elf shoe. Inhale, move the ankle high heel. Exhale, move the toes point ballet. Inhale, move the ankle dome. Exhale, move the toes elf. Inhale, move ankle. Exhale, toes. Inhale, ankle. Exhale, toes, reverse. Toes first. Move your toes. Move your ankle point ballet. Move your toes high heel. I'm sorry, elf. Move your ankle. That was high heel. There's an elf. Move your toes dome shape. Move the ankle point ballet. Move the toes high heel. Move the ankle elf. Move the toes dome shape. Move the ankle point ballet. Move your toes high heel. Move the ankle elf and circle your foot. Breathe. Other way. Allow that foot to come down and breathe in, and on the breath out, float the other leg. Holding the leg in the air with your hands so your thigh isn't overworking. Pay attention to what the foot ankle is doing. Move the ankle high heel. Move the toes point ballet. This is my rearranged bone foot. Move the ankle dome. Move the toes elf. Move the ankle high heel. Move the toes point ballet. Move the ankle dome. Move the toes elf. Ankle high heel. Toes point ballet. Ankle dome. Toes elf. Ankle high heel. Calf working. Toes point ballet. Bottom of the feet working. Ankle stretch your calf. Toes reverse. Toes, ankle, high heel, elf, toes dome shape, ankle point ballet, toes elf, high heel, ankle elf, toes dome, ankle point ballet, toes high heel, ankle elf, and circle your foot. Other way. Hug both of your knees.